this stinks. Good morning, everybody. It's Jack from Atlantis Water Gardens. Today we're in Beverly Hills, California. Yeah, that's right. We're not in New Jersey. And we've got a really cool project with a ton of challenges. I'm out here with my good buddy Ralph Biezad from Pondscapes AZ. We got Alan Decker out here, and we're gonna be building a swim pond, recreation pond in this spot. Very challenging because access here is quite difficult. We're up here in the mountain of Beverly Hills, and it is tight up here to get anything done. Not to mention, there is a lot going on in this property. There are just pipes everywhere. We've got an old septic that we unearthed. We have to do something about that. This is a spot where we're gonna be building about a 20 by 30 recreation pond. 6 feet deep. They want to be able to walk out a boardwalk and jump into the deep end here. There was an existing pondless waterfall that was right here. That's why this whole excavation is here. They pulled out a 3,000 gallon reservoir. We're going to be tying into that to feed our constructed wetland filter, which is going to be up top here, down into the pond. We've got an intake-based skimmer going in here. There's going to be underwater lighting, jets, external pumps, all kinds of cool stuff. I'm excited to show you this project. It's going to be a ton of fun. But the best part about this project is the fact that I get to work with my friends.
Up from the ground came a bubbling crude. Jack, this is not Texas tea. This is a real situation, man.
We're coming towards the end of day one, and we got a lot of work done. We just didn't get any pond work done. We spent most of the day abandoning that old septic tank and re-diverting all the plumbing for the sewer line over to this side where there's a brand new septic system. We had to work around all these pipes here. We got gas, electric, water, everything's in this trench right here, and we had to get underneath that. What that does also is gives us the opportunity to shoot elevation of that stuff so we don't run into it. We got our plumbing down low enough so we can get at least 3 feet of water over the top here. This is going to drop down to about 6 feet on this side. We're hoping we can get the wetland started today, at least get the excavation done, maybe get some liner in. That's going to go right here in the stream section. It's going to drop about 6 inches into the wetland, and then from there we're going to be splitting off into multiple waterfalls coming into this pond. Now, we didn't really want to be doing any septic and sewer work today, but that's what happens on some of these projects. When you run into things, you have to change gears. And here, the fact that we're not home, we've got to do it quickly and make quick decisions. Now we can move forward getting this pond built. Now that we've got all that plumbing work done, that sewer's out of the way, deep enough now so we can get across it in the pond, we're going to be installing our constructed wetland filter, which is going to filter this pond. This is where we're going to have our constructed wetland filter. We're going to be pumping water into the bottom of this. It's going to go through a centipede module, and on top of that there's going to be a layer of aqua blocks. Slows down the velocity of water, sends it through the filter nice and slow. Then we're gonna have graduations of rock and gravel before it comes out to the top, feeding multiple waterfalls into the pond. First thing we're going to do is finish our excavation. We've got to do a cutout channel right down the center of this for our centipede and snorkel module. Then we can install our underlayment and our liner, followed by another layer of underlayment on top of the liner to protect from any sharp corners on the aqua blocks. Let's get it going. Our wetlands waterfall is really taking shape. It looks like just an extension of the old existing stream. That old stream is coming in over here. It's going to be spilling off this rock into like probably a 3 or 4 inch deep pool. We've set these rocks so they step back like outcroppings, leaving some room in between for all the planting that's going to come in, because it's going to look just like the rest of this area when it's finished, with all those grasses coming down probably very close to the water's edge. We've got that one piece of liner that forms our wetland filter coming up and over this berm. That's going to be our overlap for the waterfalls that will feed this pond. Right now we got Lucas taking out the old deck. The old boardwalk that was along here is coming out. This way we can bring the pond just out this way some more. Eventually that'll get kicked out more to the right side so that we can get around the side of the pond. I'm talking about different design ideas for that. I'm interested to see how it all shakes out when we're finished.
So right now this is going to be the most difficult part, because this is going to be a recreation pond. We're going to go 6 foot deep. So that means our sides are going to have to be pretty much straight up and down. So we have some really big rocks we're going to start at the base with. And then once we cut up, we'll have to cut a shelf in and come back up. And being that the wetland is this high, we're going to be almost 9 feet by the time we hit bottom to top. So that'll be the most challenging part today.
Our pond excavation is shaping up nicely. Because this is a really tight backyard to work in, we're having to do this in phases. We dug our whole 6 foot deep area here, which is probably, how big is that, Alan? It's like a 15 by 16 area right here. Alan's putting down a nice heavy layer of sand because we do have some rocky sections in the soil, and we're going to be setting quite a bit of weight on here with these boulders that have to make the shape of the inside. What we're going to do now is install multiple layers of our underlayment all the way up the side, up onto the top here. Then we're going to drop our liner in, and we're going to have to fold it back so we can get the machine in close enough to set all the boulders that are going to go inside here. Another really challenging piece is this area behind me. From the bottom up to the top where the wetland is, it's over 9 feet tall. So we're gonna have a lot of big rocks making their way up pretty vertically in that spot. But we do have some really large stuff here to work with. Like this rock here. We're gonna set this vertical. We're gonna make that the bottom, that's gonna be the top. It's 5 feet tall, so that's gonna get us a lot of coverage with one piece of stone. And we have several other similar rocks to choose from in our pile. Here's where things slow down. Getting this liner in, messing with pulling it back and forth for each and every one of those stones with the excavator is going to take a lot of time. So it's time to get busy. Lot to talk about. We did some serious business on this deep end. It is pretty much rocked in, and you can see those massive boulders are going to be coming right down from the water surface and making this rock formation that's going to have water spilling in all different kinds of areas. There's going to be a platform coming off the deck where they can jump into this plunge end and then swim out up to a shallower 3 foot section. Sound is important here. They don't want to overpower anybody because houses are very close together, but we're going to solve that by really spreading that water out across the whole backside of this pond. Right now, Alan and Ralph are working on setting some rocks here in the shallower section. Right now, I'd be standing in about 3 feet of water.
This big rock here is going to be a seat, so you're actually going to be able to sit down here. You can even be able to put your arm back, lean back, relax, and it's going to make it real interactive. Pretty cool. 3 feet of water, so as you're sitting in that rock, it should come chest high. On most people, anyway. Over on this side, our wetland filter is actually going to spill out here, and we're going to have like this nice little cool waterfall that's going to come right down in this section. So you're going to be able to interact with that also. Walk right up to it, sit by it, sit under it. You'll be able to do whatever you want, but it's going to have a really cool effect as it comes down through there.
Yeah, we're not going to talk to Ralph today. This is our 4th day on this project. We lost pretty much the whole first day to that plumbing issue where we had to get those pipes underneath the pond. So things that, like, these are things that we really have to watch out for, especially when traveling. Like we are far from home, and running a day over on this job is really not an option. So it starts to impact the scope of work, and that can impact the price greatly. So if you're thinking about doing a project like this and maybe having somebody come in to build it, try to get a really good handle on what some of the pitfalls might be, like buried obstacles, access. Actually getting material here has been a bit of a problem as well. But we're getting through it, and I'm pretty happy with our progress to this point, but we've still got a ways to go here. We are 5 days into this, and things were looking a little bit sketchy because we got set back that first day with moving all that plumbing and the septic. Well, we were able to get some reinforcements here from Chad and the guys from California Waterscapes.
My name's Chad Morrill from California. Obviously, we're California Waterscapes, born and raised in LA. I've been building ponds for 20 years. I used to do paving stones and landscape with my dad and brother before that, but I had zero affinity for pavers, so I'm doing water features, and I get to hang out in pretty cool places like this. I'm here with my guys. I got Junior, who's a master excavator operator, and he's down here in the dirt. Mauricio is my main man. He's the artist in the family here, so yeah, we love jumping along with the CACs of the year and artists of the year, and learning some new skills. So thanks for having us.
California Waterscapes, I'll link it below. I'll link that below, go check it out. Chad does like all kinds of celebrities, so he's kind of a big shot out here in California.
They're all the same. We love the little guys.
Awesome. Well, let me show you guys what we got going on so far. We still have to do our whole interface here with the liner coming out of the wetland filter into the waterfall. That's probably something we'll work on very shortly here, so these guys can keep working their way around the edge. One of the main things we're working on this morning is our intake-based skimmer. We've got waterfalls and jets all pushing water this way over to where we're building this cove right now. It's going to get 2 pump vaults in here as well as a layer of aqua blocks. We want to draw that water in here. Once it gets inside this area, it's going to just be swirling around. All that debris can then be easily removed with just a simple skimmer net. This is what our pondless pump vaults look like. We're actually not using submersible pumps here. There's going to be external pumps housed inside the garage. When you're doing something that's going to be for swimming, you want to get that power out of the water, and doing it with an external pump is the way to make that happen, along with some grounding.
Oh, my favorite part about this project has been lunch. It's been pretty good. There's a nice deli right up the street. I mean, great service. I'd come back.
Where we're at now is this waterfall is really coming together. There's going to be cascades coming out of the wetland down this side as well as down this side. So we'll get a lot of smaller waterfalls splitting, bouncing around all the rock work into this nice deep section of the pond.
I am like past the anxiety and the fear stage and very much in the excitement and like anticipation of jumping in this thing. It's really, really coming together. All the stuff that I was really nervous about all just fit in really nicely, and these guys are amazing. They are true artists.